Hi everyone, and welcome to March 22nd Drama Hospital Recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. I keep saying this in the beginning, but if you're just watching this one, I just want to say it, and everyone, just so you know, the first week of 25 was so hectic I can't even believe it, but I watched the episodes. I just never got a chance to sit down and film them, so I'm doing that now. I am catching up on this because I think there's a few points I need to deal out, but thank you so much, and we will be caught up by probably tomorrow because all I need to watch is Fridays and today's, and boom, caught up, and I will be doing that when I get home from work. So let's just get right to it because today was like a bombshell day that I kind of wish I would have watched, but what am I gonna do? At Kelly's, Nell comes in with Charlotte. Michael's there, and she tells him she's Charlotte's nanny because why not? It's a little tense to say the least. She's still in Port Charles, which is a downside. And she asks if he's asking her to go. So Nell wants to make amends, and, you know, she hurt him and Joss, and that wasn't part of this whole thing, but I'm sorry, you know Carly has a family, you know the family's gonna get hurt, so did she just not care until she met them? Oh, I was gonna wear my new lipstick, but I'm not getting up. Oh well. And Michael thinks that she should focus on her new job, which is pretty much as passive-aggressive as Michael can get. And the kindest thing that she can do is leave them alone. It's big enough for, this town is big enough for the two of them, so they don't have to see each other. But does he watch the same show I do? I don't think so. Laura tells Kevin about Andre's testimony. She can't believe it. He doesn't think that she should be questioning his testimony because he agrees with it. He's on their side, but taking away Charlotte from Valentine would have been traumatizing. And Laura says that she doesn't know any different. Like, you know, she doesn't know Lulu. Like, it's not fair. And he wants her to be patient and trust the court and trust herself. But Laura thinks Valentine will turn the system against Lulu. Kevin doesn't want to be cut out of whatever Laura's going to do, though, and he has to go testify at a competency hearing. I wonder who that could be for. And Laura sees Nell with Charlotte, and Laura makes a call, and she comes in to see Charlotte. She says she's her grandmother, and Nell's like, "Kay," and rushes her out. So she asks Michael who, like, Nell is, and that girl is her granddaughter, and Michael's like, "Oh, I didn't realize," and tell her everything, Michael, tell her everything. So he won't say specifics. Basically, they're not friends, not even close, but he tells her as much as he can and refers her to Carly for more. And none of what he says is particularly flattering. So at Crimson, Lulu is there. Dylan opens the door, and I can't believe he didn't jump ship after what happened with Maxie, to be quite honest with you. She wanted to give Nina a piece of her mind, and Dylan asks what happened, and she says it was a total loss. So Dylan tells her to take a breath, don't do something crazy that's going to get documented. Say it, forget it, write it, regret it. Seriously. And she tells him what the psychiatrist says, and she tells him about visitation, the once a week, for 6 months, and Dylan's like, that sounds like a win. And Dylan relates the Georgia decision, like Maxie had it worse, like she couldn't even see her daughter for 6 months, but when she cleaned up and followed the rules, she got her back. But Lulu feels that her situation is more unfair because she doesn't understand how she became the bad guy in all this. But she's not, Charlotte just doesn't know her, and I just feel like she still doesn't get that, but, like, in a nice way, not, like, in a bad, like, not in a malicious way, you know? So he says 6 months will go by before you know it, and, you know, focus on how she can build a relationship. Oh, no, she says, like, how can I build a relationship? That's what you need to be focused on. So Lulu says there's other options, and he says, look, 6 months could turn into forever. Do you want that? And honestly, that should give her pause. I need a drink because I've been talking for like an hour now. I had my drink in the thing. Anyway, so at the court, Liv is there. Griffin comes in, and she calls him Duke without even looking. Oh, why not? And he's been called to testify about what happened. She thinks that he came for her because he could have just sent an affidavit, but it's almost like a judge would, or a lawyer would want to cross-examine a witness. Oof. And she says she doesn't see any of his mother in him at all, and he's like, what do you know about my mother? Nora comes in and stops Griffin from talking to Liv, and, you know, she's her client, which is weird, but I guess when in Rome around. Hey, that was cute! I'm trademarking that. You can't steal that. So the DA is there, Been meaning to meet her. She counsels Griffin, and Nora tells Liv to focus, and, you know, why did the court reporter come in after the judge, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, it's a little here nor there. Like, the court reporter would already be in there. Like, she won't walk in after the judge because of all the swearing in, and I'm just saying. So, quite the list of charges against Liv, and Nora seems uncomfortable, almost like she didn't know all the charges, or she's hearing them for the first time. Which was weird, because usually when you're a lawyer, you kind of know what you're walking into. I haven't been, I'm just saying. So Kevin testifies that she's lucid but has no moral code or perception. The DA says she has a history of faking mental issues when legal trouble comes up. Griffin's up. He tries to sidestep it enough that it doesn't make her seem like she's totally, like, crazy. But he has to admit that he pretended to be Duke to save Anna, and Nora kind of twists that. And the judge, she twists that to be like, you were confusing her, so, you know, with her already fragile mental state, it just kind of, you know, like that kind of game. So the judge remands her to Darkham Asylum, and then they'll deem her competence, which I had to watch it on mute, so I finally got to see how Darkham was spelled. So it's D''ARCHAM, so it's not like Darkham, like from Batman, but like it kind of is. So what we got, Shady Brook for like, hey, you just need some help. Ferncliff, which is like, yeah, you need some help legally, and now Darkham for like maximum security. So you know that her and Heather are gonna put their heads together, and honestly, I'm kind of can't wait for that. So Griffin asks Kevin the timeline of when Liv will be competent for trial, and Kevin says, like, she can never be deemed, like, there's a chance she'll never be deemed competent. And Liv tells Nora to tell the cowboy of hers that she says hi, and that kind of shakes Nora a little bit, because she's like, what? How do you know that? I don't know the reference, but I'm assuming it's a Lambview thing, because that's where she's from. At Anna's, Anna asks Obrecht over. She wants answers about Valentine, and she doesn't know much about him. Anna asks about Victor and Helena, and she doesn't have much to say about them either. And Anna says Faison could get her information on Valentine. She's desperate. She's used up all her contacts. Faison is over Anna. Obrecht wants to keep it like that, but she needs confirmation that Valentine flipped to the DVX, which I never heard of before. Britt gets mentioned because she's with Faison. Hypothetically, she asks what's in it for her if she does this, like if she gets in contact with Faison. So she wants Faison and Britt to be free, all charges dropped, and Anna's like, I don't have that power. And maybe against Britt, especially since, like, Nicholas is gone, but, like, not Faison. So Anna brings up Nathan. Nathan could interfere and with Nina's marriage, which could make a problem for the future, and Nathan could be hurt by Valentine. But Anna says that Faison trusts Obrecht, and he'd do this for you, and Obrecht's like, no, I'm out. So then Griffin comes over. The court ruled Liv unfit to stand trial, and Anna's happy to hear that, because now she's trapped. Like, she tries to game the system, but Pentonville is a resort. Oh, Pentonville. Well, that's, you know, jail. Is a resort compared to Darkham. And he doesn't think she's going away that easy, and she said something about his mother. At the Metro Court, Valentine and Nina are having a drink, and he says he put everything with Anna in the past. Kind of, I guess. And Nora is going to pick up the judge's decree. He says that he already arranged for the first visit, and she reminds them that their behavior will also be scrutinized for 6 months. And she says Charlotte, knowing Lulu, will ultimately be for her benefit, but like, they say that's fine, but Lulu is so hostile, and Nora says that the social worker will stop that, but she's sure Lulu will forge a bond with Charlotte, but they don't seem like that's what they want, and, like, because they don't, especially Valentine. Like, Valentine doesn't want that, and I don't think Nora totally realizes that. So Nora tells them not to give Lulu's team any dirt or ammunition against them. Nina asks what they're going to find out about Valentine, and he says there's a good chance they'll find something bad, but he won't let it get in his way, and he's covered. Nothing he's done can touch them. Like, there's no physical connection, so there's not going to be any evidence. They could come up with all the charges they want, but if there's no evidence, then it doesn't matter. So she says that she may have hired a nanny because she lost her temper, which I think ultimately is going to be a huge thing against them, to be quite honest with you. And Nell comes in with Charlotte. Valentin says he's aware of her circumstances and she'll start on a trial basis. He says he loves his daughter, and if anything happened to her, they'd never find her body. And as someone who works for two families, if anyone said that to me, in the tone he said that, and even... I'm sorry, she's lived in Port Charles for a while now, so she has to know his name and his circumstances. I would be out of there so fast, you wouldn't be able to see me leave. Like, that's not okay. And the fact that Nell's like, oh, haha, is just, ugh. And Oberek sees them talking. And now end scene. Laura called Lulu. She tells her about Nell and that she might be useful to them. Nell comes into Crimson. Nina asks how the interview went. Oh, went good. Nora delivers the decree to Valentin and she's off now. Oberek calls Faison. Griffin tells Anna what Liv said. Could there be a connection pre-Duke? And Anna thinks that it's just her raving, but anything could be possible. But let it go, and Valentin is a pressing matter right now. So Nora asks about the other matter that Valentin contracted her for, Olivia Jerome. It's handled. She won't ever see prison. Money wired into her account, a large bonus. Your associate won't spend time in prison. She'll never see the light of day again. Plot twist? So, wait, Liv is working for Valentin this whole time? My mind, I'm just so confused. So, that's something we have to deal with. So thank you for watching. I have one more to film right now, and then a little more of a catch-up game, and then I'm good again. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in 2 minutes if you're marathoning these. Alright, bye!